Good morning. Ira Epstein on a miracle day. Yeah, I think it is. We're open in the government. It is Monday, October 2nd, 2023. We're at 8:10 a.m. and at the very last minute, and something I didn't expect to take place, by the way, House Speaker McCarthy crossed the line, willing to take on the hard right Republicans, got Democrats to join in. They passed a bill instantly. It passed the Senate. President Biden got out of bed, signed it, and away we go. We have 45 days. So you might say, well, why is the market like this? Down, basically. And what I wrote last night in my report was there'll be some euphoria at the beginning. It'll quickly wear off as the smart money realizes nothing has changed. We are back to where we were. We don't have border funding. We need more money for Ukraine. We haven't addressed the spending cuts that the Republicans want. All these issues are still in front of us. What was done was 45 days or so was bought to negotiate it. That's the good news. As for what's going on with the UAW strike, that continues. From what I read, the sound bites over the weekend that I was reading, it is not going well between GM and Ford and the UAW. The demands are being looked at as outlandish, not going to be met. They accused Mr. Fain of spending more time on TV to get his 15 minutes of fame than he was really fighting for the benefits that are attainable. Keyword, attainable for the UAW. I realize you asked for everything, but in order to get 25,000 workers off the picket line, you've got to also lower your expectations, and the two sides are far apart. We're seeing some stability come into European economic data this morning. In my full research report today, I have a chart as to how we, America, has gotten off of Chinese imports. It's amazing. You want to see this graph that just came out. But let's talk about what's coming out today. We get the S&P Global Group. They're going to come out with their final September manufacturing sector PMI. We had a prelim. This is the final one. Construction data for August will be released today at 9 o'clock. ISM will come out with their September manufacturing sector index at 9 o'clock. We get today also the oilseed crush, and that'll come out for you grain traders at 2 o'clock this afternoon, so be ready for that. But as I said, when you look at what's going on now, OPEC begins its meeting. Now, this one will be two parts. There's first a committee to decide what do they do. The real question at hand is, does OPEC believe that the high price of oil, sitting here at $92 a barrel in Brent, is restrictive on economies that have, if you will, shrunk a bit? Or do they say, no, they can absorb that, we're going to hold the pattern as we are with these? I don't think anybody's expecting OPEC. It would be a surprise that they increase production cuts. Could they increase production? They could. Depends on how they view what the economies are looking like. So that begins now. We'll hear about that shortly. Notice the bonds and notes. They are again to the downside, which means we keep increasing yield. This morning, Bill Ackman was on CNBC doing a fairly long interview about a new type of vehicle to invest in called a Spark. And that is what he's hoping to get X, the old Twitter, to possibly consider. He has not talked to Elon Musk, he said, about it, but the vehicle is there, and it's an interesting type of vehicle. You want to read about that. It's something a little different, a twist and turn. In the grain market, harvest continues. The weather's gorgeous. Chicago is having the most unusual weather I recall seeing. It is October 2nd. We're going to be in the mid-80s all week long. Now, we will get back to fall-like weather next week. But this is, if you're coming to Chicago, this is the time to come. It is stunningly beautiful, and the colors haven't really begun in a big way. I went out to Indiana over the weekend, and normally you drive out at this time of the year, and the colors are flaring. We're about a week or two away from it, and then it'll get quite pretty. Dollar up strong, up 46 points. Euro down a lot at 47. Again, the market had to do this. It's everything as it was. Dollar gets a bid, everything down there, and that dollar bid weighs on all the markets here. There's a lot of pressure coming on China. about what they're doing about or lack of doing about anything in their property market. And those are things you really want to take into account. So copper getting hit here as one company after the other. It's the domino effect. Maybe the way to do it is with all the debt that these private companies accumulated, let them go under once and for all. Somebody picks up the pieces and things get better. I don't know, but it seems to be the route that President Xi wants to take. Want to remind you about our offerings. Now, we have so many. One of the things I always tell people is get our price counts, get on that list and see what you see. It is so interesting what they are. I use them all the time. So they come out daily, a number of them, and then weekly, Linn publishes like a digest of them. And I look at it to see where might these markets be headed, because it is not an entry tool. It is an exit tool for where the markets might be going. A measurement that once a trend kicks in, what's the possibility of where it goes? You might want to get into the ETF videos we have. By the way, Bitwise launched 2 ETF funds this morning. That is the reason you're getting a big rally in the Bitcoin, Ethereum, all that, because now ETFs, based on that, money will flow in. People have to buy to get a position, if you understand how that's going to work into them. So as they buy into the ETF's forced to get the futures contracts. That's pretty much how this all works out. So you got plenty to choose from here. All you need to do is go to iraepstein.com under free offers, or better yet, move your cursor to the top here. See where I'm done that? You'll see an icon appear. Give it a click. Sign up for what you want. I'm Ira. You have a good day. I'll see you at the end of the day with the market wrap-ups. Trade well.